Some of the best moments in life happen at home. American Standard Heating and Air works smarter to make them all more comfortable.
From KPRC Local 2 News, this is a breaking news alert.
Bill and Dominique, we are following what appears to be a high-speed chase, or what could be a combination between a high-speed and a low-speed chase. This is in southeast Houston. Pontiac SUV being chased right now by one police officer.
As it usually is with chases, we learn about this as you do. So we are watching and looking from Sky 2, southwest Houston. This driver is on South Main right now, heading eastbound. What we do know is that police are in pursuit. We don't know if this driver has hit anybody, but we've been told this is a slow-speed chase happening in southwest Houston. This person has traveled through different parking lots and in and out of different areas. But again, they don't appear to be going too fast as drivers and police officers try to stand back and wait for their moment to be able to catch this person.
And it could become an even slower speed chase because we're now being told that he has run over at least one spike strip. These are the strips that police throw on the road with metal spikes in them to flatten the tires, although he does seem to be rolling along nicely here.
We understand he has just passed Kirby, now on South Main, continuing in southwest Houston. Like Bill said, spike strips were thrown out, but it doesn't seem to be slowing this driver down. Right now, sort of in the middle of the road there on South Main Street toward Kirby, and let's see where he goes next. We are now at 3:24 in the afternoon. A lot of schools are getting out right now. School back in session for a lot of kids, so there are going to be some school buses on the road now approaching Fannin, we understand.
And, you know, the curious thing is that he either has his left turn signal on or he has his emergency flashers on, one. But he's obviously signaling that to other traffic that he is on the run from police. Now we see two police units following. Still traveling on South Main Street, just past Fannin, as Dominique just said. Not sure, of course, yet why this fella is running from police or why they began to chase him to begin with.
We understand this driver has paper tags on the vehicle. We don't know if it's a stolen vehicle or not. Approaching Alameda now, getting into the medical center area. So as you know, traffic can get really tight around there. So we'll see what happens as you know, he gets through some intersections. Actually, South Main and Alameda, he's heading out. Here comes a turn underneath what appears to be 610, I believe.
It was an interchange of some kind because we had a crisscross, spaghetti crisscross there. He has never really taken this chase to excessive speed, and so the police are keeping their distance, staying well back from him. But though, just as I say that, he begins to be, looks like he's beginning to really pick up his speed.
This is a Pontiac Aztec, a gray one that police officers are chasing with a paper tag. Why this chase began, we don't know, but it's been taking place through various streets in southwest Houston. Primarily low speed is how it's been described, but it looks like this guy is getting a pretty quick clip there. This
chase began just after 3 o'clock, about 20 minutes ago. It's 3:26 now, so the cops have been chasing him for just about, there's the Fox unit, the nickname for the police helicopter right above him there to make sure that they don't lose him, but I don't think they're going to. He's going so slowly here.
Okay, here's the 288 feeder, so obviously this driver is trying to get on the freeway to possibly pick up some speed. So this is 288 heading southbound now.
He's going slowly enough and on a deserted enough road where they could perform a textbook maneuver to stop him if they wanted to by hitting the back of his vehicle, but they don't. They're just keeping their distance right now, just following along.
Right, and also if he gets on the freeway, it gives police a chance to set up a staging area in advance, assuming that he doesn't get off. He's turning around. Let's see. You turn at, is that Belfort?
Belfort, it is Belfort.
Okay.
Going back onto the freeway again, going back in the direction which he just came from.
Interesting that he's not getting on the freeway. Let's see. Okay, this driver just made a U-turn here, parallel to 288, now must be heading northbound on the feeder road with officers in pursuit. Northbound 288, does he get on the freeway? Yep, sure does.
Well, he, as we mentioned, he ran over a spike strip. It could be that he has the kind of tires that seal themselves immediately, although those things are pretty aggressive and usually tear tires up pretty badly. He may have missed it.
Maybe. Driving a Pontiac Aztec, a gray one with a paper tag.
Now the chase gets hairy because he's in traffic. He's gotten onto a freeway now. Before that, he was on surface roads, following along on the feeder. Now he's
on 288, just passing the loop here, getting closer to downtown now. You see the spaghetti bowl right there of 610. So 288 northbound, getting into the downtown exits. Question is, will he stay on the freeway? It depends on how much maneuverability he has there on 288 and where he decides to go. But as you know, as you get close to downtown, you start merging with 59 and 45, and it starts to get real interesting and also a little more congested in that area as well. So 288 northbound.
He's definitely picking up speed now. He's staying at the outside lanes.
There's the school bus that we talked about. It's that time of the day. And that makes it very precarious for a lot of drivers out there.
Police will become much more cautious now because he is headed into a much more congested area.
Much faster.
And we're, you know, still an hour from rush hour, but still we're going to see a lot more traffic as he gets closer to downtown.
As you said, Bill, the signal is on for whatever reason, either hazards or a signal, but obviously he's going left and right, and it's not an indication of anything. But he has picked up substantial amounts of speeds here once he's gotten on 288, now passing McGregor. So he's getting into those downtown exits right now. OST. Again, this driver heading 288. Question is, where will he go from here?
I don't think he has a destination in mind for a long time. He was just piddling around, as we said, on the surface roads, and just sort of got on the freeway as an afterthought. We don't know why this chase began, whether he did something that got a police officer's attention. Might be in a stolen vehicle. Dixie Drive here.
Getting a little closer, you can see the officers, three of them, what we can see from our vantage point.
Just went by Southmore now.
Getting closer in. Looks like they may try to do something here. You know, it's interesting. We have reported on chase after chase, year after year, and they always end the same way, with the driver being apprehended. So it makes you wonder what goes through the minds of these folks when they think that they try to, you know, drive away and outrun police. In the end, somehow they get caught. Now we're approaching 59. Let's just hope in this particular case nobody gets hurt and this guy doesn't do anything erratic.
Well, that's one thing about him. He hasn't been driving erratically, and he hasn't been purposely endangering other cars. You see him now, he's in the outside lane here. It's not even a driving lane. So he seems to be trying to stay away from other cars.
There's the police helicopter. He's getting close to downtown. You know, as you know, there's so much debris that sits on those outside lanes that there's a good chance, too, just by running over nails or glass, you know, he may puncture his own tires just by driving in that lane.
Now he's on the grass.
And here we go with slow traffic.
I think we're about to. I think he's about to stop here.
Look at this. Just went around that truck. He keeps going. Getting into 59 here, traffic is really going to slow down, as you know, outside of the downtown split.
He saw he was going to have to get back on because otherwise he would have been driving down that ledge.
This driver on the left-hand side of 59. Let me just confirm: is this approaching 45? Okay. So we're still right there in the heart of the downtown area. It looks like he's in an exit lane. Does he stay or does he continue on 59?
This is a very unique chase. I don't remember covering one like this because he's not as determined as most of them are. He seems almost reluctant to engage this chase.
There's an exit. We'll wait for our producer to tell us what road he's on right now. Just exited off of 59.
Of course, our helicopter is also on station above this chase, along with the police helicopter and presumably the helicopters from other television stations as well. So there's a lot of traffic above him as well.
He is on the 59 feeder. He just made an exit, just passing Elgin now. So 59 feeder just past Elgin, just on the outskirts of downtown.
Because of the way that he's driving, Dee, it doesn't look like he's going to make the kind of error that leads to a crash.
Right, we hope.
he's being almost, you know, careful here.
All right, 59 Feeder Road. He passed Elgin. He has an opportunity, I think, to get back on the freeway. Let's see what he does. Again, if you're just joining us, a police chase underway. He just went through that intersection, obviously ran a red light because there were other cars stopped there. Police in pursuit of this gray Pontiac Aztec, slowing down.
Now it looks like he's had to slow because of traffic, but he's going around.
Just went on the sidewalk there.
This is the first time we've seen him do anything that could be considered dangerous.
Oh, now he's at St. Joseph Parkway.
So is that the elevator he just went under?
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Still on the 59 feeder, another red light. He's slowing down. That was right through it. Coming up on Bell now. Again, he's just skirting on the edge of downtown. He's been blowing through some red lights, as we've seen. Hasn't hit anybody from what we can tell. He's rolled over a lot of grass and sidewalks. But now he's 59 at the GRB.
Usually by this time we've seen these chase suspects clip a few vehicles, hit one or two, run over medians, things like that. This guy's being, you know, not had excessive speed, being almost reasonable. He knows that he's not going to get stopped until he chooses to stop, and the police are giving him plenty of breathing room here.
Obviously, we're wondering, just like you, why he's being pursued in the first place. We don't know what started this chase, but we do know it's been going on for several minutes across southwest Houston and now the outskirts of downtown as he continues to ride on the 59 feeder road there.
There's the parking lot, the new Dynamo Stadium there on the right.
Yep, just passing Texas Avenue.
Yeah.
Minute Maid is to the north, so he is right on the outskirts. You can see the 59 elevated to his left. He's in the left-hand lane, so is he going to get back on the freeway? He'll have an opportunity up ahead. We'll see what he does. Still northbound on the 59 feeder, just outside on the east side of downtown. We see a couple of police cruisers right behind him. And we're told he's driving at about 55 miles per hour. So he is speeding, but not excessively. Yep, he's heading now northbound, it looks, on 59. Now we go eastbound on I-10. So he's taking that eastbound exit ramp from 59 north. He's heading I-10 east on the Baytown East Freeway.
Now we're getting a situation where this could be an elongated chase because he's got a clear shot here, but looks like this guy here, the unit right behind him may have been told to get ready to exercise this maneuver.
We are told that he has reached speeds up to 95 miles per hour, so he is not afraid to hit the gas and try to separate himself from the police cruisers. And that, of course, you know, makes things very sketchy when you're on a freeway, because that's when you're going to accelerate and you really put other drivers in danger in that case. So we'll see what happens now that he's on I-10, the Baytown East Freeway. He's heading eastbound, just outside of the downtown area. He's cutting over, it looks like. Getting in the left-hand lane. And it looks like police have a plan up ahead. We'll see how it goes.
They're going to try to set up another set of strips on Lockwood, we're told. We hear the police traffic, radio traffic, and the strategy that they're trying to employ here to stop this guy.
And Lockwood is the next major street, so it looks like whatever they're going to implement, they're going to do it pretty soon, so we'll see if it's effective. Again, this driver now leading police on a chase is on I-10, the East Freeway, heading toward Lockwood, outbound. It's a Pontiac Aztec with a paper tag. Don't know why this guy ran from police in the first place, but we will gather that information once this comes to an end. But in the meantime, we have a lot of drivers that are being put in a very dangerous situation because of this guy's moves all through town.
He's driving pretty much, you know, with the flow of traffic, such as there is. He's not going that fast.
Getting over to the right. Why? We're told at least 10 police cars are following. Is he trying to exit here? Yep. Ooh, it's a little tight. At Cress. Just exited off of I-10 now at Cress. There'll be a stoplight up ahead.
Had he stayed on the freeway...
Yep. There's
almost,
a little hit right there. He's going left. Going north now on Cress. Let's see if he gets back on the freeway. No, he's northbound on Crest, so he's getting off of our freeway system.
Had he stayed on the freeway, this could have gone on, you know, pretty much indefinitely. But now he's back on the surface roads.
Just clipped somebody there.
This is normally where these kind of chases end.
Mm-hmm.
In the residential area here.
Yep, he is basically northeast of downtown. Heading northbound on Crest through a residential area as he went under the overpass there and went through an intersection. He clipped some truck. I'm sure that guy didn't know where on earth he came from. So this police pursuit continues now at 3:40 in the afternoon. Several 10 cruisers behind this guy. This driver in a Pontiac Aztek, northbound on Crest, making a right-hand turn. We'll get confirmation of where he's headed in just a moment for you.
He's just sort of wending his way now through a residential area. Maybe he knows where he's going here.
Maybe he does. Maybe eastbound on Brownsville we're hearing. Gets really sketchy in here because we're after school and there could be some kids outside playing, and he sure is driving quickly through this residential area.
This is an area that's very unfamiliar to me, this part of town. But he's just going right through this small, and you know, the point about schools, he's bound to go close to one now because this is a residential area and they'll have schools here, school let out. Well, if it's HISD, they're not in session yet.
Right, that's next week. So if it's not school, then you know what? You've got kids still on summer break.
Either way, it's never good when it's in a neighborhood like this. Very dicey.
Looks like he's heading back in the direction of the freeway.
Yeah, back in the direction he'd come from.
Yeah, so that would be south. You're right, he's sort of weaving through these streets. Maybe it's an area he's familiar with. It makes you wonder if he's going to try to run at some point.
That's what it looks like. He's looking, it may be looking for a place where he can stop, get out and run.
Yep. Westbound on Hirsch, is that what I'm hearing? Okay, westbound on Hirsch now. Nope.
Yep.
Another turn here.
Yeah, he's looking for an opportunity, it seems to me.
And we don't even know what prompted all of this. Chopper trying to regain position there and figure out where he is. There we go. Is he heading back toward the freeway? That's what it looks like. Yep, okay, here we go. So now we're back on the I-10 feeder road. Looks like he's heading back into town. Would this be westbound? I believe so, yep, westbound on the I-10 feeder road. Oh, no?
Now he's turned into a little strip center here.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing.
It looks to me like he's looking for an opportunity to bail out of this car and run.
There's Lyons, eastbound on Lyons.
Now you saw that police car stopped right there at the intersection. I mean, they've got him pretty much boxed in now.
Mm-hmm. So let's see if they barricade an intersection coming up. Another left turn. Appears to be headed northbound on a street. We'll let you know what that is as soon as we get it. But just weaving in and out of this area. northbound of I-10 off of Cress and Lyons. That's in the general vicinity where this driver is, on the east side of town, northeast side of town. And let's see what he's going to do. Oh, there's a school bus. He looks like, is he going by a school there? It's possible. Yeah, I see a couple of buses.
We still don't have any word on what started this chase. It may have been a traffic infraction that caused a police officer to try and stop him, and he wouldn't stop. Obviously, there is nothing about this guy that the police know about that really want to make them stop him.
That was close.
Now, he's in a neighborhood now, see, where police officers work this as a beat and know this area very well. So they're going to know how to head him off if he stays in this neighborhood.
Heading back towards Cress, we're told, through this residential area. We're waiting for our camera to regain position here.
You see the rail yard there. This is, you know, part residential, part industrial.
Eastbound on Alderson, we're told. And you get the sense that something's going to happen pretty soon here. Driving through some kind of commercial property. Now westbound on Wallaceville. Looks like out of a residential area into more of an industrial. Paralleling the railroad tracks here. Police officers are everywhere, with quite a few behind him. You know, I think because he's been going so, he's in Northeast Houston, because he's been going so slowly, Bill, like you said, it's given officers a chance to really kind of hone in and swarm the area. Now south on Lockwood. If you're just joining us, you are watching a police pursuit that's been going on for some 20-30 minutes now. Started in southwest Houston. Now we're on the northeast side off of Lockwood. Police are chasing this Pontiac Aztec with a paper plate. Don't know why the chase started. The driver has been traveling at high rates of speed on the freeway and a little slower through these neighborhoods. Still on Lockwood, but he's able to pick up speed now.
At one point, the police were able to get ahead of him and lay down a spike strip, which they thought that he had run over, but apparently not, because all four wheels seemed to be just fine.
Looks like he's slowing. Yeah, exiting again. Running parallel to Lockwood. This driver's on the northeast side trying to evade police. Now back on Lockwood near a field, we're told, just sort of going in circles here. Now he's driving through the grass.
I think he's looking for a place here to bail. He's as far as driving erratically, this is the only kind of erratic driving he's done, leaving the road and going over grass. Now he's going the wrong way.
Now on the right side.
Now he's on the right side of the street. He's never, that we've seen, done anything extremely. Here's his bailout play. Well,
what was that? That was unusual.
Looked like a place he thought he might be able to get out of the car, but not.
Eastbound on Wallaceville, now going faster.
He's trying to put a little distance between himself and the officer so that if he finds a place where he can bail, he can get out and run. A lot of times that's what these guys do. But
now, I think heading back to Cress. And picking up speed. Police chase now covering the northeast side of town, north of I-10. Approaching Cress. Now he's northeast on Liberty, we're told.
Guy's just all over the place here. He's
just going in circles. So now we're told he's hitting about 75 miles an hour. Sky 2 high above, catching every move and angle. And there's the police chopper.
approaching Ranger. Really trying to put distance between himself and the officers now. But as you mentioned earlier, you speculate about what is going through these guys' minds. Do they really think they're going to get away?
Right. And maybe he's trying to do this because he feels if he gets distance and then bails out of the car, he's bought himself some running time.
Right. That's what he seems to be trying to do.
Well, now he's exiting. Approaching Englewood Rail Yard, we're told. In an industrial area off the northeast side. He's in the rail yard.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is if they don't use this opportunity to stop him, I just don't know why they wouldn't. This is the perfect spot right here to get him.
Looks he has slowed down.
Perfect place to box him in.
Near Liberty and Homestead.
I mean, he's giving them every opportunity here to stop him. He's going very slowly.
There's one police cruiser blocking him in. And he's back on a road. Let's see.
That was a classic missed opportunity.
He's back in the rail yard, right around Liberty and Homestead. Looks like, well, he's not really on a main street. He's in the rail yard itself, parallel to some railroad tracks on some gravel. He may have boxed himself in. Look at this. He's getting on the tracks.
Well, that's just about all she wrote here.
He's driving on the tracks.
That's a car sign, not a railroad train.
Unbelievable. Oh, my goodness. Get a load of this. He's driving on the tracks here.
Well, he probably figures the cops won't do this, and they may not.
Unbelievable. Well, he may have found his opportunity here unless a train comes. He's driving in between rail tracks here. Apparently, police have stopped following him. They can't get in there, nor will they do this.
He was right about that. It's too detrimental to a vehicle to do this.
Look at this. Look at this. I've never seen anything like this. He's driving on the train tracks. Get a load of this.
This fella.
And again, for anybody just tuning in, we're not exactly sure how this chase started, why the person is continuing to try to elude police, but they've now got themselves, or the one driver in there anyway, into this rail yard and is actually to some degree gotten away from HPD because the driver decided to get on these railroad tracks, and it looks like at this point HPD decided they couldn't follow at this point anymore. It's only possible
Eric,
we can hope to.
They only lost HPD, the HPD that's on wheels, because the helicopter is right below us, in front of us just a while, and so HPD knows exactly where they are.
Very good
I would
point.
imagine that sooner or later HPD is going to get in front of this car, if not a train.
And this little SUV continues to just make its way down these railroad tracks after it seemed a couple of times that HPD almost had him or she circled, and just going back and forth over these railroad tracks. Is it possible to get just a slightly wider picture to see where this car is at this point in the rail yard, Don? There we go.
Yeah, that gives you an idea, Eric. A lot of tracks here, and these tracks, most of them are not meant to gone over by a car, because they're obviously not at an intersection where a road crosses a railroad track.
Yeah,
now the person is stopped
backing
and they're backing
up now.
up.
And again, this is in the Eastwood Rail Yard owned by Union Pacific. So the driver, seeing something ahead that didn't look good, and is now backed up and jumped the tracks once again. I can only imagine if the tires have been busted or not, but
see a passenger in there? I thought for a second maybe I saw a shadow. Driver.
Yeah, it's possible.
There may be a passenger in there. Look at this.
Yeah, he's picking up speed in there. Splashing up some water, too.
Yep.
May have rained there recently.
Oh, that's going to slow him down. Look at this.
Well, this is a point where he probably could get out and run around for a while because nobody's there.
I'm going to see if our producer can give us an idea location-wise as to where he is.
Well, I can tell you where he is. He's lost.
Well, yeah. I'd like to know which streets he's lost on.
He's not. He's in the rail yard lost. He didn't know how to get out of there.
Well, crossing a couple of tracks. Trying to. Boy, this is interesting. If he ever makes it back to a main road, it'll be surprising.
Of all the chases we've covered, never been one like this. So at this point, he's just being watched by the helicopter, the police helicopter above.
He found a road. Well, he's out of the rail yard on some street there in between all these railroad tracks, crossing a couple. Is that a feeder road? Where are we here?
I saw a sign that said parking or no parking.
Well, this sure was an interesting detour. It's a miracle to me that this car is still able to drive.
It's a good car.
Yeah.
What did we say it was? A Pontiac
It's a
SUV?
Pontiac
An
Aztec.
Aztec?
And we don't even know why this chase began. Southbound on Sakowitz now.
Not a cop car in sight here.
Another turn. Up.
Okay, now he's...
Well, this is interesting.
Yeah, this is a railroad right-of-way that he's got himself on.
Okay, here we go.
And now he's out. He's found as good a place as any to try and run. But
there's an officer right there.
Let's see how good he is at running now.
Amazing. Just bailed out in some grassy area behind some homes, running from police, going through some trees here. He's out. Officer right behind him.
This is an adrenaline run, and the adrenaline is just about to run out.
That's it. Here it comes. Officer has his weapon.
He had a taser out.
He's been tased. He's down. They've got their man. He's down. One guy, so no passenger. Well, that was an interesting pursuit, wasn't it?
It was. He'd been, for about 30 minutes, he'd been looking for a place where he could bail out of that car and run away from officers, found what he thought was a good spot, and it wasn't very good.
Officers have their guy. From our coverage, what we could tell, one vehicle was clipped during all of this, but no major accidents throughout all the roadways and freeways that he traveled on. And we will be gathering information on this chase and obviously finding out why it began in the first place. But we're happy to show you here on Local 2 that police have their man. The chase is over. And everybody on our streets, especially on the northeast side where this has been taking place, is safe. You don't have to worry about this crazy driver wreaking havoc on your afternoon drive today. They're walking him now over to the police cruiser. Cuffed and stuffed, as we say, and he's going to go.
All
All right, this chase came to an end on right around Sakowitz Street. We're going to take a quick break. As you know, Local 2 News at 4 will begin in just a moment, where we will have much more on this police pursuit that you saw live right here on Local 2.
Don't know why the person in the Pontiac crossover for
downtown in northeast Houston, as that male driver did what he could to avoid police, and then here at the 5600 block of Glenarm stopped and bailed out, and
that's when police captured him. As we go back and look at some of the highlights of the chase, you can see it gets close here where he drives through a parking lot of a business, a busy intersection. Right. See, this is a great observation. You see how the officer did not pin the driver in. They're trying to avoid a confrontation that creates a problem for other innocent drivers. So they let the driver go and wait for a better opportunity, and that's exactly what happened in this case.
And he really didn't pick up speed too many times here, maybe towards the end, but no collisions with anybody, no major incidents to report during this police pursuit. We've been following this from the air, of course, as we do with chases, but we do have a ground crew en route to where he was taken into custody, and they'll gather more information from HPD, find out exactly why they were in pursuit of this man. Obviously, he didn't stop. We don't know why he was running, but all of those details will come to light, we're sure, shortly this afternoon.
Yeah, a lot of unanswered questions, as usual, on this is the neighborhood just east of Lockwood on the east side. You see a close call there on the left. That says live, but that is just highlights from the chase from earlier. On the right, you can see officers surrounding the car. We believe the suspect has now been handcuffed and placed. And that's the live picture on the right, and on the left is tape from just moments ago when the chase was still going on. But police have finally gotten their man, and now we have to figure out we'll have to figure out why this person decided to take off. You can see on the left-hand side highlights again of the chase. Person drives into the grass. I thought this was going to be over at this point. And the police could have boxed him in, decided not to right there. And the man got away once again. This happened a couple of times during this nearly hour-long chase. But it wasn't until the man later jumped out of the car. And then it got really interesting as the driver got near a railroad yard. Again, we're looking at highlights on the left. And I believe this is when he gets the driver gets close to the railroad yard. You see the tracks there? On the right-hand side, again, live pictures. Suspect is
KPRC Local 2 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
And good afternoon, I'm Dominique Saxa.
You're looking at the video of a chase that just ended just moments ago. A man who
just kept on going, and police try and keep these things safe. They do not want it has happened where other people are injured, hit, killed in a police chase, and HPD tries to avoid that in any way possible, so therefore they don't get too aggressive. So again, we're looking at a tape of the chase on the left side of your screen. And this is when things got interesting. The driver drove into a railroad yard, and finally wound up on some tracks. Our Kevin Reese is on the phone. Kevin, where are you? Tell us, and what can you tell us?
We are arriving just now at the intersection of Shotwell and Glenarm right now, where this thing ended. We can tell you that we've been following this chase for quite some time now. This is a regular little neighborhood here. Now filled with police and neighbors all over the place trying to figure out exactly what is going on. But we have at least, let's call it a dozen, perhaps half that many more here at the intersection of Glenarm and Shotwell. They are all secured now, making sure that everybody is okay after this chase. But right now, this thing is over. But it has gone on for miles and miles and miles. But right now, we're just arriving on the scene, trying to figure out what is happening here with the driver, why he did this, why he led police on this long chase. But we'll have that update for you as soon as we can. We are walking up to that scene right now, Lynn.
All right, Kevin Reese, thank you very much. On the left, again, we want to show you, these are highlights of the actual chase. On the right is a live picture where police apprehended the driver who led them on a chase for an hour. This is at Glenarm and Shotwell, just east of Lockwood, I am told. And this all ended when the driver suddenly jumped out of the car and took off on foot. As we continue to look at highlights. And again, we don't know why. We don't know what the desperation was. Unconfirmed reports this was a stolen vehicle, but we have not confirmed that, so we're trying to work that out. But police will get us the information. And as police got close to the driver, once he jumped out of the car, it looks like possibly a taser was used to bring the man down. As we continue to look at the highlights on the left. But again, we are happy to say nobody was hurt. No police officers, no innocent drivers on their way home during rush hour, and no school children, etc. So that is very good news because it lasted for an hour, mostly on the east side of town, and police never were able to get spike strips down to blow out the tires on the man in the car. So, but they do have the person in suspect. That is the live picture on the right-hand side where this thing is over.
Kevin Reese will have an update for us sometime here in the 4 o'clock hour. Glad that ended with no one hurt.
With no one hurt.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for joining us now into the 4 o'clock hour. And we now have a tragedy to report.